My ears! My ears! I gotta be cute and sweaty. Welcome to the Incoherent Fangirl.
Where we're hoping we're getting back on track to a normal schedule
Hopefully.
moving forward.
Yes. I am Karin from Solvang, California.
I'm Mandy from Renadon.
Hints galore.
Yay!
All right, friends. In our timeline, it is August 15th and 17th. And in y'all's timeline, it is August 22nd. Yay!
The timelines have been crazy. And I'll say for my part, like I hate when like people are vague on the internet. My grandmother died this week. And it was very sudden but not unexpected. It was sudden for how it happened.
Right.
We knew it was eventually coming, but it was very abrupt when it actually did. So that's why Karin, I'm sure you've heard from last week's episode, Karin inserted a new clip because we were supposed to have another interview last week and it's just been kind of chaotic. And it's because I had to do funeral things. So
Yes. Yes.
just wanted to like explain
And
what was going on.
for everybody who's concerned, Mandy is fine. She's just having
Yeah.
complicated
I'm
emotions.
I'm a little sad.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I've been sleeping a lot in my like that's how I like handle
Yeah.
myself is just to try to sleep through what I
So
should be feeling.
valid.
Super healthy, I'm sure. Super mentally healthy. God, if a therapist listens to this, they're like, this is the worst thing you could do is to sleep to
Hey,
hide from your feelings.
maybe if a therapist is listening to this, they'll give us some free therapy
Hey, come on.
because
Because I have been abusing Downton Abbey as my like that's my other form of therapy. I was like, I'm Gilded Age ended the week my grandma died.
very rude of them. How dare
Very
they?
selfish and rude.
How dare?
So I was like, I could at least go back and be with Branson. So
Fair, valid.
I'm back with Tom. So he's trying to help me. So yeah. Anyways, I hate when they're like, we
Things are
have complicated
happening.
things going
Yeah.
on in the background. Like when I can explain, I always want to explain.
Yeah.
So that was
And
the complicated thing.
obviously that's not my place to say, so I'm like, I will
No,
just
no,
be
it
vague for all of you
it
until
wasn't a
Mandy comes
criticism
back.
of you at all.
Oh
I
no,
just,
that was me explaining to them why I
yeah,
didn't say anything.
yeah, yeah. But we're all good. Everything's fine. I just had funeral stuff to go through. So
And now we're back, and we will hopefully have a regular schedule moving forward. Go
yes,
us! Yay!
yay! Fingers crossed.
That sound means we have an intruder
Oh,
alert.
are you an intruder at this point? I feel like
I
you should
feel
just
like
be
you're
the
just
third
I feel
fangirl.
like I'm just
that's true.
coming home from a trip.
Yes,
Yeah, you just live
exactly.
here.
I have a key.
You were on vacation for a bit, and you came back. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I was out sick, like literally.
That's true.
The first few times we tried to do this, I had laryngitis, and I was like,
Poor
I don't think
thing.
they'll want to listen to me talk because it sounds like a pterodactyl in the grossest way possible.
I had that happen. We got Victoria Aveyard on the podcast, and like I read
Oh,
her books like
exciting!
when they first started coming out, so I'd been like a
Oh,
long
that's
time fan,
exciting.
and I had laryngitis for her episode, and it was
Oh
like, I'm
no.
so
But was it
sorry.
like you get that point in laryngitis where it like kind of sounds like kind of hot, like where you're like, I kind of
That's
want it
what
to
she
stay like
said. You
this.
sound
Yeah.
interesting. I was
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
like you sound like mysterious. And I was
Yeah.
like, no
yeah.
one's ever called me mysterious in my entire life. Like that is crazy. But thank you.
Yes, I will take it.
I literally have never been mysterious a day in my life. Like everyone, like
My
friends will do
face
lore
tells on me.
drops, and I'm like, you guys know all my lore. I told you like the first day we met. Like I've got nothing left.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, a little sickness gives you a touch of mystery.
Yeah. It's like I could live in this.
You need
Yeah.
to you
Handle
need to
it.
get something out of it, right?
It's
You can't
giving
just
like
be
Phoebe in
sick.
that one episode of Friends where she's
Yes.
like she tries to get sick again because of like her voice. She's like, "Thank you, my babies." Like, It's
Oh
so
Oh
good.
my
God.
goodness. Okay, well, as you can tell, Hannah Nicole Mayer is back. We love
Yay,
having
hi
her.
guys.
It's it's already chaos. We're very excited. We're going to talk about Accomplice to the Villain. I'm just gonna cover this up
Yay!
real
I
quick.
know, I'm covering it up.
The little turtle,
The
the little
frog.
turtle.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
the poor turtle.
Welcome back, Hannah. We love
Thank
having
you.
you here.
I love being here with you guys.
All right, so this is normally where we would ask you to like give us the elevator pitch for the book, but it's like book three in a series. So tell us what you want to tell us for the
I
people who
can
haven't
tell
heard.
you, I can tell you the series overall is about a young woman who's very bubbly that ends up working for the fairy tale villain. And throughout the books, she keeps getting promoted because she keeps getting better at evil doing. And in this book, they are trying to break a curse in the quest to fulfill a prophecy to save the kingdom.
Doesn't
Oh
That
sound
my
very
was
God, that is,
evil.
so
holy crap, that
good.
was the smoothest I've ever done that ever. Can you send me that
Like,
soundbite so I can read it?
yes.
We just bring it out of you, obviously.
I was like, that was the smoothest it's ever. Normally it's
That's
like,
good.
oh, so it's a story about
Professional.
a girl.
You're like, words, what are they? I don't
This
know.
Oh,
is
God.
the story of a girl
I
who
don't
cried.
know. I
No, that
think it
one's
might
not
be that
right.
I'm having some champagne it might be the champagne, honestly.
It's
It's
just
like,
loosening it up,
it's just
Yeah.
like
bringing it
making it
out.
all, yeah, like it's all good.
Perfect.
Take another sip.
Perfect.
You did
That
great.
was
Wow, that's
amazing.
probably the best we've heard a
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
elevator
very
you.
pitch
solid.
go.
Very
Thanks.
solid.
So, one exciting thing about this book that I think I could say is the ensemble of narrators grew a lot.
Yeah.
What was it like getting to dive into like everybody's POVs?
Oh my God, it was such a blast. Like I truly, this was my favorite book I've ever written. And I say that about every book, but I do think that I'm a person that likes to grow with each, book I write. And I've said this since the first one that I want to improve as a writer, as a storyteller with every book that I write. I want to like get better and better. Um, at telling a story. So when I dove into book three, I don't know that I had like a different level of confidence, I think. And not in like a haughty way, and more like I'm more sure of my ability to tell a story the way I want to tell it. But also in a way that the story is entertaining and makes sense. And so bringing in all these narrators, it was something that would have intimidated me, I think, a few years ago, but it was just so exciting because these are all characters I've wanted to play with for a really long time and jump into their heads. So it was a lot of fun. Like it truly, like for my ADHD brain, it was a dream because anytime I got like bored, I was like, we're going to someone else now.
It's perfect.
Oh, puppy, cute.
He was over here crying to get up here,
Oh,
so
you poor baby.
He's like, how dare
had to
you?
let him up here.
You poor
No, I loved
baby.
being in everybody's brains.
It
Like I
was
thought it
so
was so cool.
fun.
Yeah.
It was so
Kingsley
fun.
freaked me out a little bit when he started talking about his green skin and
I listen, I get it. Like turtles really have a rough time of it.
those turtles, man.
But his point of view was hilarious because
It
It was
was.
so
I
fun.
can say honestly that, when I told my parents and I wanted to be an author when I was 9 years old, even then I had no idea that one day I would write a point of view from a frog's perspective. And I truly wrote the first chapter of this book and finished it and looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, that was the most ridiculous thing you've ever done in your entire life. And I can't wait to do it again.
Yes.
It was
That's the
fabulous.
spirit.
It was great. It's
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
fun. And I love how, I don't know how exactly you manage this, but I feel like every chapter leaves off on a cliffhanger. And it's like
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
constantly just like on the edge of my seat. I cannot put this down because like what happens next? But then at the
Yes.
same time, you jump to somebody else's POV. You're like, wait, what happens next?
Wait, this is actually very funny because my fiance kept like coming out while he was reading it and he's like, I have beef with you. And I was like, why? And he's like, because every time I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? You jump to someone else, and then I'm like invested in them, and then you jump again, and I'm like, I need to know what's happening with everybody. And to be honest, it was like for me too, because the way that I write is the way I watch television. It's very toxic. I like am toxic to myself. I leave when I'm at like the peak. Like when I'm like at the most excited about something coming next, I stop. It is like the way I watch television. I'll watch a show like halfway
No.
through, and then when I'm really,
I'm
I like
so
edge,
scared right
I
now.
edge myself. I'm gonna say it. I do it to myself. And the reason is because once I'm constantly thinking about what's coming next. And by the time I get back to the computer, I'm so excited. Like, and from a creative perspective, I get like my best stuff when I leave off on a cliffhanger for myself. So it ends up just unfortunately happening to everyone else too.
Look, like that's like heavy hitters though. I remember feeling that way when I first read Aragon. I think it was in Brissinger when he added multiple POVs, and it would be like, why are we going back here? I don't care about them anymore.
Yeah,
He'd
like
do it
what's
in
going
Throne of
on?
Glass. It's like I don't care about the wyverns anymore. And then
I
by the
know, and
time
then
you
but
get
then you
through that
did care about
chapter,
the
it's like
words.
Yes,
Then you
then
did
it's like, oh
start to
God,
care.
yeah, I don't want to go back to them. The whole book.
Yeah,
it's
it's
constant, and it's like, there's no point at which I can stop because I just get
Yeah,
so invested.
yeah,
but
Like, I
it's
and
feel
that's
such
like,
and
good writing.
yes,
thank you. And from a read from like a writing perspective too, like when I'm writing it, it's like I'm telling myself the story. So I'm also getting like the cliffhanger feeling where I'm like, I have to keep going. But even then I cut myself off because then I have to think about it for the next day and like torture myself until I get back to the computer. And it's really sick. But if I leave off on a point where I feel a resolution, I won't be as eager to get back to it. And that's no fun.
that makes sense, though.
Fair.
That makes
Yes.
Yeah.
sense.
It's I'm just as
That
evil to myself as
that
I
is
am to
some.
Are
others.
you the villain?
Yes, of course. I've been waiting for everyone to realize it's been me all along. No, I'm a recovered people pleaser that went way too far in the other direction.
I love that.
So now I'm like, I
Honestly,
don't want anyone to be happy.
I love that.
I'm
Valid.
kidding.
Honestly,
That's
That's a
mood.
joke. Kind of. Like I would say that's like 60% a joke.
Yeah, it's fine.
Over
It's valid.
half.
It's
Over
valid.
half.
It resonated. Okay. It resonated with me.
100%.
And that's
100%.
not a joke. Well, that was my next question. Like, how do you stay organized when there's so many paths and so many cliffhangers?
I don't, that word does not exist in my vocabulary.
Good, because me neither.
I've never been a person, and I think like everybody's creative process is so different, and that's so why I think that nobody should get stuck in one way of doing things. Because even yourself, you will evolve. And I found myself evolving like as a writer, the more I write, like the way I do things changes, like not a crazy amount, but like it evolves with each book. There's a little bit of a different process for each book, but I know there's some people that will like have a word count every day and they will meet that word count, and I think that is so incredible. I cannot do that. And I've tried so many times to be like that organized. I'm going to plan everything out because even when I plan everything out, it never goes that way. Like it truly, I don't have obedient characters. They don't want to do what I say ever. So even if I'm like, this is what we're doing, they're like, actually,
I
it's so
mean,
funny you mentioned
in
that.
your defense, you're writing villains,
Yeah.
so
Yeah, they don't
they have
listen to
to.
me ever. I've lost complete agency. So when people are like, I'm so mad at you for this, and I'm like, that's so
It
funny because
was,
it wasn't me.
Yeah, I didn't do
yeah,
it.
I didn't
It
do
it
it.
literally wasn't, but I'm the fall guy for these idiots that like will not do what I ask them to do.
Take
But
it up with
it's
Evie, guys.
yeah, take it
Sorry.
up with Evie and the villain. Like I've been forcing their heads together for 3 books, and then for some reason in book 3, I went in like, all right, I'm not gonna force you to do anything, and then all of a sudden everyone's making out, and it's so confusing. I was like, guys, are you serious?
After all
I
this,
feel like
After
I've just been slapped and I'm being gaslit by my own creations, and it's insane. Like
truly,
it's
because book one, it was like, when are they gonna kiss? And then now book three, everybody's kissing.
literally everyone's kissing and none of them were planned. Like I think maybe like one of them was planned, but like not even really. Like most of them were just they just started kissing and I was like, "Oh my God. Oh my God." Like you
my
guys.
favorite are like, I don't think this is a spoiler, but like the girl gang like dish sessions
Yes,
after the kisses. I like live for those.
That's
yes.
see, those are scenes that like I plan, but they're like daydreams that I think up that are I'm like, this is hilarious, and I don't care how I have to work it in. It's getting in there like somehow, some way. And those are the scenes they let me like impart. They're like, all right, this is fine. But like
Yeah, you can
anything
have that.
like concrete that I want to go, I like have beats, of course, that I have to hit, but like it's in between is just absolute disorganization, and it's I really don't know fully the story. Like I know beginning, middle, end, and some maybe some beats between, but it's mostly just me telling myself the story the first time I write the draft. But the things I do plan are very intentional and they're very like subtle. So even if when I do like put something in there that's planned, it's so subtle that I'm like, only I know that this is here, and that's okay.
I mean, that feels like some Swifty Easter eggs,
Yeah, that's
honestly.
what I want though, because I was like, I want some people to be able to find this, but I'm gonna make it real hard.
So, this was originally meant to be a trilogy of books. At
Yes.
what point did you realize that you needed another book?
Literally when I was writing book two, I started to have a panic attack because I was like, there's no freaking way. That was hilarious that I thought I could get it done in 3 books. Like, so funny of you, Hannah. Like, hilarious. And it was one of those things where I really do believe in like not pushing a story past what it needs to be, but I also believe in not closing it out before it's meant to be done. And so when I started to like really think about where we're going with the characters and where the story needs to go to get from like point A to point B, and when I say point A to point B, I mean beginning of the series to the final scene that I've had planned for 4 years. Like to that scene, like and everything in between, because I am such a like a pantser when it comes to storytelling. I do have like those points I need to hit, but I realized when I was writing book two, I was like, there's just no way I can get the characters from this point to this point in one book without it being too rushed. And I cared too much about this to push it and rush it. So I started contemplating in book two what a fourth book would look like. And then last summer, I spoke to my agent about it, and and my agent and my publishing team were like very supportive and excited because they love this series too, and they love working on it with me. So they were thrilled, and I sent them over a synopsis that I wrote when I had COVID on a high fever, and it was interesting for sure. It was a synopsis. it it was I reread it like a few weeks ago and I was like, what manic demon wrote this
What,
synopsis?
who did this to
This
you?
is insane. Like, never again. Like, this was a wild choice. But yeah, I think with these characters particularly, I always have other stories I want to explore, but specifically, there's just something about this world that is so important to me and so special that I want to tell the story in the way it's exactly supposed to be told, and I will do no more and no less. So a fourth book was absolutely necessary.
I love that. And these
Yeah.
characters are special. I mean, they literally changed your life
They
Yeah.
did. They're like
from
my
some TikToks.
I
Like,
like
Yeah.
literally cried to my dad like a few weeks ago about it, and it was so dramatic, but I was like, they're like my friends. They're like my family. Like I whenever I'm sad, I go there. Like I'll write random scenes that have nothing to do with the plot when I'm having a bad day just to like be there with them. And
aw.
I love these characters got me through like the darkest point in my life, and they continue to be my touchstone anytime I need something to hold me down to earth. And so like any more time I get in this world is like a privilege. So I'm so happy that I have people that are willing to read a fourth one, and they're willing to let me do another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm very excited.
Well, so are we.
Yay!
Yeah. I'm
I'm
like chomping at
glad.
the bit for a fourth book.
Yay!
Especially the way you ended this one.
I
Excuse
know
me.
it was like my meanest cliffhanger I think I've ever
It's
done.
pretty
Like
mean.
it
It's
was
pretty mean.
mean for sure. And I wasn't sure that's how it was going to go. And there's literally clips of me writing the end on TikTok back in January. And my sister-in-law is sitting next to me while I'm writing. I'm writing this around my entire family on New Year's Eve. Like I'm just typing away, and we're all drinking wine, and they're like, "Are you finishing the book tonight?" And I went, "Yes, it's due tomorrow. Like I'm finishing it tonight." And they're like, "Oh, okay." So I'm like typing the ending, and then she's like, "Is it ending a cliffhanger?" And I went, "I don't know. I didn't finish it yet. I'm not done." I had no idea until I wrote the last line, and I was like, "Oh God, I'm such a bitch." Like,
I hate myself for
this
this.
was evil. But you know what? I was like, book two's cliffhanger wasn't as bad, I feel. So I was like, I'm due for a mean one.
This one's really mean. Yeah. Because
This
it's
one was
like,
brutal.
Yeah.
because, yeah, I don't, yeah.
If it helps, it
I
set
just,
me up the way that the chapters do, where I'm like already writing book four because I was so eager after I finished the third one to jump into the fourth
oh,
one
I
because I
can
gave myself a
imagine.
cliffhanger. I was like,
Yeah.
oh God, I have to go
Like, where are you guys
immediately.
doing?
Wait,
Yeah,
how do what do
like
I
what's
do?
happening? I felt like they cut me off, and I was like,
How did this
open the door,
happen?
open the door. What's happening?
What do you mean? What do you mean? That is that Jennifer Lawrence hot
Oh yeah,
ones meme. She's
literally.
like, what do you
What do you
mean?
mean?
I've
What do
gotten
you
the
mean?
most of those memes in my DMs like the last few days. Like the most.
Rightfully so,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
ma'am.
valid. It's so valid.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Um, Unrelated to the book, you've gotten engaged since we last talked to you.
I have.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How
Thank you. I'm not wearing my ring right
exciting.
now. I'd show you. It needs to be resized because it was sliding off to a degree where I was like, I don't trust that this is not going to fall off my hand in
No,
a
I'm going to wash
random.
my hands and it's going to go down a
Yeah.
drain. I don't
Correct.
blame you.
Yeah.
Correct. So it needs to be resized. Otherwise, I'd show you. But it's, yeah, it's very exciting. Last October, we got engaged and we're getting married next year in June. So on my
Oh.
grandparents' wedding anniversary. So
Oh.
Oh,
yeah,
that is so
I
I'm
love it.
special.
really
That's so
excited. We actually
exciting.
found their wedding invitation from 1964.
Oh my
Oh
I
my
God.
know.
God.
So I'm gonna try to like model ours after it and then have it framed. Because we're getting married in a venue that has a big library, naturally.
Of
So I'm
course.
gonna like have
Oh
framed
my
copies of it, like framed up. I'm
Oh,
so excited. Like I
that's
think,
so
yeah,
That
special.
is
yeah,
so special. I
yeah.
Oh.
love
Everything lined up
that.
like really well. And yeah, I love my, yeah, it's great.
Almost
I'm
like that's
excited.
how it's supposed to happen.
This is what I think too. I'm a big believer in if it's meant to be, it will be, and if it's not, it won't.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Congrats,
Thanks,
besties.
guys.
congratulations.
Thanks.
So exciting.
Thank you.
Okay. Is
You're like, all right, where do we go from
I was
here?
like, so it was optioned for a series.
Yes.
Any updates on that front that you can talk about?
I can't tell you a thing, but I can say that it's in the works. The team working on it is absolutely amazing. It's in very, very good hands, and that's literally all I can say. But as soon as there are things I can share, everyone will know. Um, there are things I want to share, but unfortunately, I've got to vault it in my head, and I've sealed it almost to the point where I don't even know what it is because I'm like, don't tell me stuff because I can't. I don't want to be Tom Holland, and I will be a
Yeah, you're
hundred
like,
Valid,
percent.
if you
valid.
met me, I'm literally basically Evie, and
Yeah.
I run out of material of things to say, so I start dipping into the stuff I'm not supposed to say because I'm like, what else is left? Like the stores are empty. Like there's truly, I've got to start saying the stuff I'm not supposed to say.
Or do you have any like involvement in it? Like anything that you've
Yeah, I get to
been
executive produce, and the team has been really, really great about including me in things,
What
and
does
they're
that
awesome.
mean?
Yeah, I get to like executive produce. I listen, I'm learning as I go.
I'm like, what does that mean,
wait, I
Hannah?
can tell you, I can tell you, an executive producer gets to make like creative decisions
Ooh.
involved in like the whole production. So it's more than just like a writer. Like obviously you write the story, but then you'll have other writers as well. But the executive producers can come in and say, I don't like the tone of this scene. I don't like the set of this scene. Like they can come in. My husband owns a production company. I
Oh, I was
My
like,
husband
Mandy,
and
you're
I
so
own a
knowledgeable.
production
I
company.
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he has a streaming platform. So I know that because
Oh,
he
that is
executive
really
produces.
cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all like really exciting. It's a very new world for me. But it's been a lot of fun. I love learning new things and I love learning about new creative mediums too. So it's
Oh
just been like
yeah.
really cool to observe everything. And yeah, exciting things ahead, I think.
Yay, we love
An
Yeah.
that.
executive producer is a high honor.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Like literally they told me that and I was like, "Are you sure?" I
Me?
was like, "Very well."
I suppose.
I'm not panicking at all. I'm
You
cool.
can
I'm
do it.
cool.
You're gonna be great.
It's gonna be
Thanks.
amazing. It's gonna be amazing.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna kick over to some of our like normal questions that we always have to ask.
Yay.
Um, Fictional boyfriend of the week.
Oh, Patrick Colson from A Forbidden Alchemy by Stacey McEwen.
Ooh.
All
Yeah. Have you guys read
right.
that one yet?
Not
Not yet.
yet.
Oh my
No.
God.
I did,
Oh my God.
however, watch you and Stacy on Barnes and Noble's Instagram, and y'all
Liz,
are hilarious.
oh my God. That was literally, I was like, we're talking about nodding on Barnes and Noble's official Instagram.
Yes.
Like, we cannot be let to go anywhere, the two of us. But I got to read it back in March, so it came out in June, but or no, July, sorry, July 1st. And then Stacy let me read it early because that's really the only reason I'm friends with her, so I can read her stuff early. Um, so she sent it to me in March, and I was like, I had just gotten off a really big deadline, so I was like, I'm gonna take like a week or two to read it because I'm gonna like pace myself. And I read it in a day because I could not put it down. And it's Peaky Blinders inspired romantasy, and it's
Ooh.
such a unique world building. Like there's artisans and there's craftsmen, and the artisans have magic that's mined from the ground, and the craftsmen are like the laborers. So there's like class discrepancies. But in addition to that, there's Patrick Colson, who is like the Thomas Shelby of this world, and he literally has never done anything wrong in his life, and I love him. And he kills people, but like for good reasons. Like
Hey.
he's morally gray in the best possible way, but he's so hot. I think about him like 40 times a day. And it's funny because my best friend wrote him. So I'm like, I know he came from your brain, so maybe I'm just in love with you.
Hey,
But
I
I-
mean,
but wow. Like I was like, if you were like Thomas Shelby, oh, your husband would be
yeah.
in big trouble.
Okay, well, sold. You've sold me on that. And before we started the interview, you sold me on the Musketeers.
Yes,
Yes.
So
yay.
I'm
Oh
gonna
my
be
God, I
busy.
can't.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen, Musketeers will change you.
Just gotta take a week and absorb all of Hannah's Rex because that's where we're at
Yeah,
right now. It's
Listen,
like,
it's the Musketeers is only 3 seasons too, so it's like low commitment, good time.
I
And then
can't wait.
and it has a satisfying end. Like it's not one of those shows where it got canceled and it ends in a way that you're like, oh, it ends like in a they wrapped it up nicely in a but
I'm so
yes,
Good.
excited.
I
yes.
would have
It's
like been beating down your door if it had been like the
Yeah.
cliffhanger that got
oh no, it's
canceled.
no, 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 no. I don't like to watch cliffhangers. I just like to write them. I'm not I haven't lost all my marbles yet.
Not a monster.
I'm not a monster, my God.
All right. Well, you kind of already answered this, but we're gonna ask it anyways. What are you reading, recommending right now?
Well, so right now I'm going into writing book 4. So when I go in to write, I am not reading anything fantasy, just at the beginning and usually towards the middle. Once I get like closer to the end, I can maybe start, but it's just something about too many cooks in my head. Um, but I still obviously need to be reading just because I always need to be reading something. So historical romances are like my go-to. I
Love.
love historical romances. I have such like an affinity for them. I truly have read like I don't even know how many at this point, like maybe 200. Like I've read so many over the years, and I discovered them in 2021. And I do this thing where I find an author I like and then I read their entire backlog. And these authors like they bang out books like crazy, so they have like a really big backlog. So I'll read like they have like 15 books and I have to read all of them or I can't move on. Like I'm like I can't stop until I've read all of them. So right now I'm reading Lorraine Heath. I'm really enjoying her books. They're a lot of fun. They're very like the plots of them are like wild. I'm reading one that's like kind of overboard inspired. Do you guys know the movie Overboard?
I don't
I don't think
think
Like
so.
with
so.
Goldie Hawn. It's like she's like a rich heiress and she like loses her
Oh.
memory and he like it's kind of toxic now, but the movie's really cute. And he pretends like because she's so awful and she's like a terrible person and she loses her memory, so he like pretends that she's his wife and then like just to put her through the ringer for like a week and like makes her do all these chores and like all this stuff. And it sounds bad, but it's a really cute movie. Like they fall in love.
Vaguely. I vaguely like
It's like
it's
Goldie
itching in the
Hawn's
back of my
real life
brain.
husband too. Like it's her real life husband. So it's like it's the and it's Kate Hudson's mom, Goldie Hawn.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like the cutest. It's me and my mom's favorite movie. We love that movie. But this it's
Oh.
like very historical romance, overboard inspired because it's like really, like prissy heiress like loses her memory and the guy can't necessarily send her home for good reason because she's in danger, but she also doesn't have her memory, so he tells her that she's his housekeeper. And it's hilarious.
I can imagine an heiress trying to be a housekeeper without any memories.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
it's like a disaster, but he's starting to feel like really guilty because he doesn't want her to do anything that actually like involves labor because he feels too bad. And it's very cute. He's like, "You can't carry water. Your hands, your
She's
poor
like,
hands."
but my lord.
Yes. She's like, "But this is literally the job you told me I do." Like, so confused. And now currently at this point in the book, she's got him so wrapped around her finger that she just keeps taking in like wayward animals. So they have like a pony in the backyard now, a dog, cat, a random kid from the street. Like, so good times all around. You did not ask for that long of an explanation, but it's a good time. I'm enjoying it.
It sounds like a good time.
Lorraine Heath, she's a good time.
I'm loving it. Love it. Love
Yeah, big fan.
it.
All right. Well, we know what comes next. And if you
Obviously.
think I haven't like been mentally going through A words. What
Right.
what
This
do you
is the
think could be
funniest
next?
thing that I didn't anticipate happening because I didn't originally know when I started writing the first book that they would all be like in A succession, but that's just how it ended up happening. And so now it's like I'm getting the craziest guesses, and I almost don't ever want to announce it because I'm like, I don't want this to stop. It's so funny. Like, my favorite was acetaminophen to the villain. Like, that one really sent me through the roof. Like, I thought I was going to ascend. Like,
Some acetaminophen.
I was
Okay.
like Tylenol?
He needs some.
And I was like, actually, no.
Wait a minute.
Hold
Somebody
up.
hand the poor
Let
man
me
some
call my
Tylenol.
editor and see what I can do. It was, yeah, hilarious. Like, so funny. But I've been getting, like, a fiance to the villain was funny. I was like, they're manifesting. Someone went, a wife to the villain. I was like, you guys are
Hey.
really, like, speaking it into existence. And I love that for you. I really believe in manifesting. So, like,
Oh my
cool
God.
I
stuff.
mean, I hope you've announced it before April Fools, but acetaminophen to the villain would be a really good April Fools
I know. You
prank
know
with
what?
like
I'm bummed
glass
because it
or
probably will be announced before April, which is
yeah.
a bummer
Well,
Or
because
you could
what
be
you
like, hey, we
could do,
changed
or
the
maybe I'll
title.
yeah,
do early April Fools
you
and
could
just
you could also like on April Fools just be like, actually, guys, I think we're gonna change the. We had to change the title.
JK.
With a
There's
JK.
a
graphic
there-
of a
there's a
giant
no,
pill bottle.
there's a medical novella coming out and it's called
Acetaminophen to the villain. That
Acetaminophen
is
to the villain.
great.
It's about a pharmacy.
Oh my
That
God.
would be
That is brilliant.
amazing. I love it. People are so creative.
Yeah. Yeah, I
No,
was
but
driving the other
actually,
day. I didn't come up with anything that cool.
I think like two people in my DMs have guessed it, and that's it. Like
I'm going through the dictionary. Don't
Yeah,
worry about
where's
me.
everyone is,
Merriam-Webster?
and I think that like everyone, you know what? I'm like, keep on keeping on. You guys are killing it. Like truly, like I'm enjoying every second. So keep them coming.
Good times. Well, of course, we have to remind you that you are legally obligated to come back for
Of
every book
course,
release.
of course. I
Because,
signed a contract in
yeah,
blood.
yeah,
I will be
Yes.
you're
back.
stuck with us forever. I mean, to be fair, you are like the third host, so like,
This is what I'm saying. I have a key. Like I'll
yeah,
just come on
You
in
just
any
pop in anytime.
yeah, just be
anytime.
here.
I put that frog joke in book two just for you, Mandy. When I
Oh, I
realized that, I
love it.
actually like I told everyone. I was like, we talked about it on a podcast. I'm almost positive I just
The
subconsciously wrote that
the
scene.
way
I
like
love
you
it. I
don't
love it so
understand
much.
because the way the Mandy was so obnoxious on Facebook about it. Like you don't
Mandy,
Yeah.
understand. Like it's
I'm
so she's
honored that you
allowed to.
would listen, I'm honored that you would be obnoxious about it, that you'd care enough that I
Yes.
had it
Oh,
in there. 'Cause
absolutely. I was like, you guys, I'm going to be insufferable about this.
Yeah, like
I
There's
think
a
in being
subconscious
insufferable is the way to be.
joke for me. Yeah.
she's like a New York Times bestseller wrote a joke specifically for me.
Literally just for you and no one else. Just for you.
I was there too, so I'm claiming it in
Yeah,
heart.
yeah, you're a part of it, obviously.
Yes.
I was there at its inception.
Yes, of course.
It's a team effort, guys.
You guys both planted the seed.
It's
both
still
were there
one
to
of
plant
my
Turtle.
one of my still seriously one of my favorite moments is just like when you seeing you realize like wait a minute guys,
Yeah, because I wasn't in real time. I didn't think about it until that
that
Bill we were
exact
talking about
moment.
it. And
Yeah.
I was like, it was like a light, like bulb
We
moment.
could like literally
You
you
could
can
watch me
see
realize it.
your
Yeah.
the
Like,
light bulb go
because
on.
my eyes give everything away. Like I could I am not a I don't think I could be a convincing liar because it's always in my eyes. Like that I'm like, oh. Because I'm like, you know that audio where it's like, I don't really like this person, but I think I'm like hiding it well. And then it's like flashes to their face and they're like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's me, unfortunately. It's all
Same
there.
way.
Oh my
I
goodness.
love
Well,
it.
on that note, we do have to say goodbye. We don't want to keep you forever. But
We do want to
everybody,
keep you
I mean, we
forever,
do, but like
No, but I understand.
you
We have
also
yeah.
should
I
have
have to get back to
lives
Tom
now.
Branson. I'm in Downton.
and you'll update me on the Musketeers, Mandy.
Yes,
It'll be-
absolutely.
Yay!
Perfect. All right. Well, other perfect things is Accomplice to the Villain.
Thanks,
And
guys.
it's out. Everybody should go grab a copy or 10. I don't know. You do you.
Yes.
Also, if you want, hold on. It happens to be right next to me. There's 2 other books.
Yes.
There's a whole series.
Oh, and
I'm
I
over
should
there.
say I just found out that the standard edition sprite edged the first editions are sold out on Amazon. So if you want the
Ooh.
sprayed edged edition, go to your local indie and see if they have them in stock, or your local bookstore and try to find them because I don't know how much longer they'll be out there.
You want
That's
them. They're
so
pretty.
exciting,
Yeah, it
though.
was crazy. I heard that today and I was like, what?
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was wild. Like the best readers ever.
Wait, also you have a special edition of this coming out.
Yes, I do. Wait, it's hold on, I'll grab it. It's
It's so pretty. I want to see in real time. Look at her.
Stop it
isn't she
right now.
pretty?
She's
And I love that
so
it's like printed on the
yeah.
cover, so it's like very
That
fairy
is
tale. You can't
gorgeous.
Uh,
kill. And then the end pages are my fave.
Ugh,
Yay!
I
I'm so
die.
excited. You could see Kingsley in the corner. And my favorite is you
Me
could see the villain
too.
riding away in the distance, like real tiny.
That's amazing.
And there's a
Literally.
bonus chapter in this one from the villain's point of view when they first meet, which I've been waiting to write
Oh,
again for years. So I'm really excited about this. It comes out September 16th. So that
Perfect.
one's, yeah.
So you can go pick up a copy of Accomplice right now. You can go pre-order the deluxe
the
edition
special edition
of
of
Assistant to
Cute.
Assistant.
Villain.
Yes.
Lots of fun stuff. And then eventually we'll get book 4, which will probably not be
Acetaminophen to
acetaminophen
the
to the
villain.
villain, but maybe it will be. Who knows?
I think I can petition to change the title at this point. Like, I can,
It's still early. You're
it's
still
early
early. Yeah.
stages.
It
We have
is,
time. We
yeah.
have
Yeah. Thank you, Hannah, for being here. We have kept you a very long time.
I literally yap your guys' ears off every time I see you.
I
So that
love
was
It's the
it.
me.
best time. It's
It's
the best
always
time.
me because I just love chatting with you guys. So thanks for having me on again. It was so fun
Thanks for
getting
coming
to see
back.
you
Thank you for
guys.
So
coming
much fun.
back.
Yeah,
And
of
we
We'll talk
course.
to you
will talk
soon
to you
about
soon.
shows.
Yes,
Very
please
soon.
do. I'm being so serious. I
Yes,
want updates.
we will.
I will update you 100%.
It will
Yay.
be so obnoxious.
Oh no,
I'm
that's
so
more the
ready.
better. The more the better. I'm being so sincere. I'm being so serious. I will be hurt if you don't.
Oh my gosh, we will talk so soon. We love
Yay!
you.
We love
Congratulations on
you.
everything.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me on again.
We'll see you soon.
I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
I
I
live,
love
breathe,
her.
and die for her. I
Oh,
love her so much. I needed that. I
that
needed like
yeah.
just a good girl session.
Yeah. I feel like that was a way to end a week.
I've
Like
been laughing and so my eye keeps watering. It looks like I'm crying, but I am in a good way.
the good way, the good kind of cry. No,
The
it's
good
always
kind of
so much
crying.
fun. My like cheeks hurt, my abs hurt, all the things. So much laughing.
Fun
It's always a
times.
good time. I love her so much. That sound means we have another intruder
Ah, a
alert.
repeat offender.
Heck yes, Rebecca Fabian is back. We're so excited. We're here today to talk about the sun and the moon.
Oh, I messed up the page.
We're so
Yay!
excited.
Yay!
Thank you so much for coming back. We're so glad it worked out.
Yes,
As
always.
you know, our first question is always give us the elevator pitch. Tell us what the book's about for anybody who hasn't heard about it.
Okay, so The Sun and the Moon is set in the world of The Lovers, which was my first rom-com that came out last year from Berkeley. And it is about the daughter in The Lovers. If you read The Lovers, if not, you'll get it once you don't have to have read it, first of all. But in The Lovers, there is a character named Madame Moira who is the psychic who gives Kit and Julia their soulmate prediction. And I was fascinated by this character, so I was like, I'm going to write about her daughter. So this story follows Cadence, who is the daughter of Madame Moira, who is estranged from her mother, and she lives in Acadia National, not in Acadia National Park, wouldn't that be amazing? Near Acadia National Park, because she's a park ranger and got as far away as she could from her mom. And it starts when she receives an engagement invitation to her mom's engagement party, and she's like, "What the fuck?" Because my mom always said she'd never get married. And so she decides to go back because she's sus of the whole situation and a little concerned that like this man that she's marrying is going to be conned. And then Sydney is the other main character, and she is the daughter of the man that Moira is marrying. And she's a pilot, highly independent, lost her mother when she was a child, so very, very attached to her father. And she has a hard time with commitment, all that stuff. And she also is very suspect of this new engagement and goes to try to like investigate Moira a little bit and ends up meeting Cadence and fulfilling a soulmate prophecy that Moira gave Cadence when she was a child, which is bad news. So they and so they can't let Moira know that, and also they're like, let's team up to try to break this engagement up. And so chaos ensues, and falling in love also might be in the cards.
I
Love it. Love it.
Okay, so obviously both books in the lovers world have the tarot aspect, which of course they do. You read tarot.
Yes.
Do you ever use tarot and like read tarot as part of your writing process to help you with
Ooh.
the book and the
That's an
storyline?
interesting question. I mean, so for both of these books, I did have to use tarot to figure. I use it a lot more in the lovers because Kit is a tarot reader, so you're seeing in real time like her giving tarot readings to people. So I actually had to like fabricate tarot readings for that. So I did it for that purpose in there. For this, it was more, my use of it was more in the vein of what do I want the cards that play into this to say about these two characters. And what's funny is I did not know it was going to be called The Sun and the Moon when I started working on it. I did not know that I was going to utilize the sun and the moon as the two of the main cards in the story. And it was so it like ended up that as I was getting to know them, I was seeing this trajectory for Cadence as sort of being the moon representation of like sort of you're in an isolated phase of your life. You're sort of trying to going inward to understand something, and it can be a little confusing and hazy, and you don't really know what you're dealing with. And then Sydney being sort of like you break through that, and Sydney also sort of enumerating like on like how like she understands herself and she's got it all together and she's very like, and so like that those two things really, as I realized that, I was like, oh wait, and then if like what if I use that to like have this soulmate prediction even go further. And so I didn't like use it for predictive purposes.
Yeah.
I will say I do use cards on the regular, if not every day, it's at least once a week to get the vibes. Like
Yeah,
sort of like a vibe check
Yeah.
for myself, which will play into like my writing and like just my daily experience, you know, with just like, okay, this is sort of what's in the energy around me. And
yeah.
it does help me sort of gauge what I'm going to be dealing with through the week. And it's always right. And which
Yeah.
means like if I'm like having a rough time with something in my plot and it's like, and I'll see that in the cards and I'll be like, okay, like, and the cards can give wisdom on like what kind of a rough time it is and where I'm maybe not taking like the space I need to create or to
Yeah.
like a lot of the times it'll be like you need to go inward, you need to turn into a hermit,
to calm down.
yeah, I definitely always need to calm down, but yeah, so I will use it in that way. Like it doesn't figure out the plot for me, but it will tell me what's wrong with me and why the writing isn't working. Like, you're struggling.
Yeah.
That's so fun though. Like you have kind of this external device that can help you get through the creative writing process because it's hard. Writing is
It's so
hard.
hard.
And it's like if you can't realize like what's going because our lives inform our writing so much, right? So if you
Yeah.
can't figure out what's going on with you, then that's gonna suffer. And it's nice to hear like you have this kind of external thing that you can look at and be like, oh, that's what's
Oh,
going
that's
on.
why. Yeah, and the thing
What's
is, like,
going on?
anybody can use that. And I think we all have different, like, even if you're not using tarot, you have friends that you use as a sounding board, you know, for your work, or friends that you tell about your drama. And they're like, oh, have you considered that the problem is you? And So the cards often operate that way for me. They're like, actually, have you looked at yourself lately?
Can we interest you in a mirror? And you're like,
Here you
ah,
go.
Dang
God.
it.
Ugh.
Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, so we have to talk about the dog in the room.
The dog in the room.
We have to
Yes.
talk about Chicken because um, I love him. He lives forever and ever and
He
ever
does.
and ever. So talk about the inspiration for Chicken and how he ended up in the story.
Yeah. So this is not to be meant to be as a downer. But it kind of may feel like that. I when I was writing The Sun and the Moon, I was dealing with the end of life for my dog. So my dog Samson, 16-year-old Yorkie. At the time he was like 15 and a half. Yes, I know. I'm like, girl, I'm like,
Wait
I
a second. Hold on. Hold on.
like told him tight.
Oh,
Um,
Georgie.
yes. And so he was like this my soulmate, the love of my life, like truly my best friend. And it wasn't like the end yet, when I was drafting this book, but I knew that it was there. And I also
Yeah.
was sort of experiencing all of the like old man things that you go
Mhm.
through with an older pet. Like, picking him up to take him outside. He needed to go to the
Yeah.
bathroom all the time. So like, and I was like cherishing it because I knew that like you only get so much time with
Oh,
your
yeah.
pet.
I would
Like,
much rather
unfortunately,
carry you outside.
Yeah.
I'll do
yes,
that
like
for the
as
rest of my
long as
life.
you want. Like we got
Yeah.
him a stroller to take him on
He has a
walks.
stroller. Yeah, Georgie has a stroller.
They need it. And he actually hated it because he really, once he got out, like he was like, "Oh, let me down. Like I want to explore."
I
But
want to
he was
see
like
people. I want
very,
to look.
he was like blinded. Like and actually like he
Yeah.
couldn't see or hear, but he was existing. He could smell
Yeah.
everything. And it didn't matter. Like none of that mattered. And so when I was writing this book, Chicken just came to me. Like I was like, I really want to have this like little old man dog in this book. Like you see dogs so often represented as like, in their younger stage,
Hmm.
like in their adolescence phase. And I just was like, there's so much beauty in taking care of an older pet. And they can provide you so much,
Oh,
and like,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
yeah, like don't give up on your older pets. I mean, there's an epidemic in Los Angeles with like older pets being surrendered, and I'm sure
How do
this
you
is
do
not
that?
I can't imagine.
people do it, and that's the thing. Like it's and representation matters. So like I
Yes.
Yeah.
say that, and I'm so serious. Like it's showing an old dog and that they have so much to offer still. Like it matters, and so that's sort of where he came from. And he's a Chihuahua, and his black, brown and tan, like tan and white. Yes, baby. And I just, and so I didn't make him a Yorkie because like I was like, oh, okay, that's actually way too close to home.
Yeah.
But so in The Sun and the Moon, he goes with them to Solvang. He just is everywhere, and they're doing what we do with old dogs. You got to take them out to go to the bathroom all the time. They sleep a lot, and
Yep.
so he's like, and it was just like he's just there and living his old man life. And I can say in my mind he's still alive. Like
He is.
the
He
wonderful thing about this is that he can live forever.
he does.
Oh,
He does. I would just it was so like and I mean I know you so I like knew your story before going into it but also
Mhm.
like it was just so fun because like Mandy's got a little old man dog there and then I've
Oh
with
got
his
a
yes.
little
little
Chihuahua.
with his
I was
little
like
belly band on.
I was
Oh,
like it was like the perfect combination of our two little
oh my
puppers
god,
and
he's
I
so
was like
precious. They're so
and the little
precious.
tongue his tongue
Uh,
will not stay in his
He's
mouth.
got one tooth left.
oh yeah.
So the
See,
tongue can't stay in the mouth.
Samson had lost a bunch of his teeth, even though like we didn't know when we first got him because we got him when he was a puppy. Like this woman was trying to become a dog breeder and she like wasn't good at it and she like couldn't handle it. And so she brought the puppies to my uncle. My uncle is like weirdly constantly being given puppies to try to find and other dogs to try to find homes. Like he's like, I don't know how this became my journey, but so they had brought him, and I had actually just gone through kind of a loss. Like my dog hadn't died, but he had to move back in with my parents because he was really. I had gotten my. This was when I was very newly married and very young, and anyway, so like I was like, I don't want another dog. Like he's like my dog is like living at my parents' house. I can go see him when I want, but he couldn't handle. Like he was way too overprotective of me. And so he didn't handle the transition to a new world. And like he was fine with my husband, but he was like, also like get out of the bed. So
Right.
so it was, yeah. So and then Samson came along and I just became obsessed with him. Like I was like, you're and my husband we were both like, we don't really want a dog, but we'll take, and he was like this big.
Yeah,
He
that's
was
how
like
Georgie was.
he was so
Oh.
tiny. And so we didn't know that you had to clean their teeth. Like you like dental cleanings and stuff were like
Yeah, we
a
didn't
thing
either.
that you, and when we finally learned it, I think he was like probably 6, and it was like so expensive, and I was like, how do
Oh
people
yeah.
pay for this? And we figured it out over time. We got like a dental plan that you can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But he lost some teeth as a result of us being
When Yorkies
you
have
know.
bad teeth anyways, too.
Mhm.
So that's not just you. We had a similar situation. We newly married, and then my husband went on a swing shift like 3 weeks into being married. And so like we worked opposite shifts.
Oh
And
my
so it was
gosh.
like, I'm here by myself. And I always wanted a
Alone.
Yorkie. So we found one and I had to go by myself to get him. And my husband is like, if anything's wrong, if there's anything going on, like if it doesn't feel right, say no. You don't have to get this dog. She hands him to me. He's the last one they had. She gives me his papers. He was born on my birthday.
Oh my gosh,
I was like,
he's meant for
this is
you.
my
He
dog.
really is your
Yes.
This is my
soulmate.
dog. And really, my husband is like, they're weird. Like, they just, like, we orbit each other. Like, we just
Yes.
know. And, like, we get it. We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I called Samson my little Virgo taskmaster because like I he was a Virgo, and I am somebody who has like 0 Virgo in my chart, but I have a huge this is some astrology for you. I have a huge stellium. A stellium is where you have like three or more planets in one sign. I have a big Scorpio stellium in my 6th house, which is ruled by Virgo normally. And so I love Virgos. I'm like a Virgo, like I pull Virgos into my orbit. Like I have
yeah.
so many Virgo friends. It's crazy because I have none of that, but I love it. And Samson was like, he was a Virgo, and he would seriously like all throughout the day just be like, and now it's time for you to do this, and now it's time for you to,
Yep.
he just kept me on track. Like I was
Oh.
so grateful.
I'm like, I have like a biological schedule with this guy. Like, he has meds that he has to take twice a day. I could be dead asleep. Like, doesn't matter. I'm going to wake up when it's time for his med. Like, I don't have to set an alarm. I'm just like, oh, time
It's
to get up,
time.
Shoot
bud.
a
And
lot.
then
You're
we'll
like,
go back to bed after.
I love that.
Yeah.
Amazing. Oh.
Okay. So
I mean, dog
you're
people are
fine.
just,
I
we
know.
could
Yeah.
talk about dogs all day long.
I know.
Like,
I know. I could write a whole novel just about this
yeah,
boy.
just for dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're by no means a newbie author anymore. You're well
No.
seasoned now. Have you noticed any changes in your writing process the more you write?
Oh my God. This year, this has changed my writing process. I mean, which is so funny because I think the last time I was on here, I was like, this is what my writing process is, and it never changes. I feel like past me was so silly. And so because of my deadline schedule, it has been non-stop. The Lovers was sold as a 2-book deal, and which meant I was writing pretty much immediately going into writing The Sun and the Moon after. And in the midst of that, I was like, I want to sell a young adult book. And so I was like, I want to do 2 books a year. I love it. I have so much time on my hands. I don't. Like I really want to do this, and so I did, and I'm so glad because I'm like so excited about my young adult career. But that means that like I basically have spent every month on like I've never been off. I had like a very brief period at the beginning of this year where I was like not actively on a deadline, and it didn't, but I was pitching, so it wasn't like I was on a break. So and so one, the discipline level has just like, I've always been pretty self-disciplined, but like when you're in a draft deadline, then you're in an editing deadline, then you're in a copy editing deadline, then you're in another editing deadline, and then you're pitching. You're just sort of like, you can't let yourself take your eye off the ball ever. So my focus has really changed. Like my ability to just like shut everything out and just go into focus mode for like an hour and get out like a lot of words or get a lot done, just because there's no room for like getting stuck, essentially. Like if I get stuck, I have to get unstuck like really fast. So I have to constantly like push my brain. So there's like, so when I drafted Lost Girls of Hollow Lake, which is my young adult new, I say series, it's not going to be a series, my young adult book. I don't know why I'm saying that. It is, I had, that book has dual timelines. So I was like, oh, I'm just going to write it like I always do. I always write chronologically. That's because I like to experience what the characters are experiencing as they're experiencing. And that didn't work, like not even a little bit. Like I was trying it and I was like, I got about 20,000 words into it and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to write the entire past timeline first. And and once that was done, I then wrote the entire present timeline, and then I had to put them together, which was like a puzzle. And I had never done that before. It was, and I also had like back pain because I was never off deadline, so I was constantly doing bad things. Like
crouched over.
Yep. So there was one point during drafting of Lost Girls of Hollow Lake where I dictated to Microsoft like 50 pages because my back was so messed up. Never in my life.
That though.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. It's like there wasn't an opportunity to be like, oh, I can't write because my back hurt.
Right.
Like I still had to write. So I have this like video that I took of myself where I had put my computer on like the mantle in my living room because it was eye level, and was pacing back and forth because I was dictating. And like, we're talking like gruesome stuff. And I was just like, what the?
Somebody walks by and they're like, what the fuck is going on in there?
Hey, it was like really bad. And I was like, oh yeah. And never in my life. And so it was just not an opportunity. There was not any, I couldn't stop. I just had to keep going. And I keep saying that that's going to change. And that is not, thankfully, knock on wood, not changing. And because then I went right into revisions for The Sun and the Moon. Like literally I finished the draft of that book, and then it was like my notes came in from my editor like during the last week of my other deadline. I was like,
oh my God. You're like, please.
Oh no breaks ever.
And to not bring the whole story thing down, but that whole week was, my dog died. Like I was like coming on. I was like on the last week of my Lost Girls of Hollow Lake deadline, and my dog died. And what was like, and again, even in that, it was like, you really don't get to stop. Like my editors were like, oh my God, like you don't like, and I was like, no, you know what? Actually, I'm not doing well. I need the distraction. Yeah. I need to be not thinking about what just happened. And I did eventually have to slow down for a second, and then was very sad.
I bet.
Sad, and I say sad. I was very angry. I think actually was the primary emotion that I felt. I just didn't want this to be reality. But you just never can't. I was just like, you can't stop. And because if it's what you're committed to, like for me, it's like, I committed to this. This is what I want. This is my dream. I'm responsible for making it happen. I can't complain about the fact that I'm on deadlines. And it's hard.
That's a good mentality, but you also have to like give yourself the grace. Like it's okay to grieve your dog.
Yeah. Yes. But, and I did cry so much. And then I was like, let me write. And the great thing is Lost Girls of Hollow Lake also features a dog, and I was able to use that to sort of,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it's more like the work in a lot of ways, even when I'm tired. It's like, this
Yeah.
is where I live. But that being said, I took like all of the winter off. So, like not all, but like Christmas and like
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, basically from like Thanksgiving until like mid-January, I had a break. So
Well,
to
that's
cry.
Yeah.
good. Look,
I don't
I
blame
don't
Again,
blame you at all.
Yeah, that's
like
I
it was
don't blame
like,
you
oh,
at all.
happy birthday. Oh, I'm still upset about my dog dying. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
actually.
No, like
Yeah.
this dog is going to wreck my world one day. Like it will
Yeah.
be the
Yeah.
worst day of my life. So I get it. Yeah.
And like the thing about is like pet grief is something that, I don't think we talk about like the reality. It's real grief. It is
Yeah.
fully
Hmm.
They're
real,
with
every
you every
emotion.
day. All day
Yep.
you take care of them. Like it's not a casual acquaintance passed away and that's
No.
sad. Like
Right.
this thing sleeps in my bed
Yeah.
every
And
night. Yeah.
like kind of like with chicken and like with these, like when you're writing dog characters, you realize how much you pay attention to like dogs' personalities.
Hmm.
And they all have their own little worlds and personalities. And so it's not like your pet dies and you can just get another pet. Like,
No,
Right.
it's not the same.
No, not at all.
I love this is such a fun conversation.
I'm just gonna go cry now. Just gonna go cry and
Just
hold my
gonna
dog.
cuddle a
No
little
big
more. It's fine. We're fine.
deal.
Okay, so you mentioned like how this is your dream, so this is something you are actively working on and that leads into your future. Cadence and Sydney both kind of they get a prediction and they are afraid of it essentially. But there's something and we have a little cameo where somebody says something and is like, you have to actively choose where you go. Did
Mhm.
what was kind of working that storyline like? Because they both kind of are on edge and have this like these walls up, but are
Mhm.
so very clearly obsessed with each other.
Yeah.
Like there's so much yearning in this book. I can't even imagine having to write that.
Yeah, I mean, I had a really I always am like when I talk about this book, I'm like Cadence and Sydney, I was obsessed with both of them right from the get-go. Like because they were so fully themselves in this story. So you're telling a love story about, two people coming together and like kind of that love stories are, just making two lives sort of mesh and work together, right? And these two people, these were two women who were so individual. Like, and I was kind of like, okay, and then both very stubborn, like we've got it's stubborn in very different ways. We've got Cadence who's like, I have to be absolute, like struggling with this, like feeling that she has no power or say in her life if she, because of her mother, so she's constantly like asserting that individualism, and like I'm on my own and like I can do I'm the one who makes up my own mind.
Mhm.
And Sydney, who is like done everything sort of to please her dad, even though he never asked her to do that. Like she came up with this idea that like in order to be the best version of herself, she had to do what her dad did. And because her father was a pilot and then he retired or he left piloting early when her mother died. And she sort of holds a lot of guilt for that. So she's like, I'm going to be this, independent, like pilot woman who's like doing it. And she's doing it the best, that you can do it. And so when they come together, they're like, it's so funny because I feel like they immediately have chemistry and you're like, there's no way that they're not hooking up like in this book. Like, and it's a romance, that you're in for a happily ever after. But people who also you're like, but are they gonna ever, they're so stubborn. And it's like, how are they
Yeah.
gonna,
Like calm
and
down,
the grips.
guys.
And I think it was the chemistry. Like just because from immediately I could just feel that they liked each other and they could learn from each other because they immediately had a respect because they were both so individual and so strong. Like there was this mutual respect between them. And so it is easier for Cadence to accept that Sydney might be her soulmate or whatever, even though I will say, like, I don't know if we come to the end of this and Cadence and Sydney are believers in soulmates. But I asked the question and, they end up, going on the journey. But like, I don't know if like their belief system changes. I think they just believe that each other is worth the risk of, falling in love and having the hope of that. And, taking those walls down and being vulnerable and everything, because that person is worth trying it for.
Right.
I love that. Okay, I saw something on your website I want to talk about. Can we talk about your screenwriting for a little bit?
Oh yes, of course. Love that. I know I did add a sample of my screenplay to my website.
Yeah, so tell us like about your screen, like if you have I don't know if you just have the one or if you have other ideas, and like what's it like writing between books and screenplays? Like what's different?
Yeah.
Give us this.
I mean, it's so different. So different. So the script that I have on my website it's a sample of my script Wine Mom, which is a slasher. I call it like a slasher rom-com because there is a romantic storyline that is pretty heavily involved in it. And so what was interesting about this is I've always done screenwriting. Like when I was in my teens, I was writing short films and I was like filming them, and like that was where like movies are my first love, I would say. Like if I'm being fully transparent here, like I didn't think I could write novels. I didn't think because I didn't go to like a MFA program or something, and so I was like, I'm not smart enough to write novels. Like that's for smart people. And I love movies. And so so of course then I fortunately learned that that's I didn't need an MFA. I mean you could if you have one, but I didn't have one. And I didn't have time to get one. So I and did try to write novels. But I've always done screenwriting. So when I moved to Los Angeles years ago, I was like, part of it was because I wanted to eventually pursue screenwriting in this very vague sense of how do you pursue screenwriting? It is not as linear. I mean, which I will say, novels are not as linear or obvious either. Like your trajectory into publishing there's so many roads to it. But like I knew, like you write a novel, you query a novel, that eventually maybe you'll get an agent, eventually maybe you'll sell that book. Like that was my like there was a clear road. Screenwriting does not have that, and it's only gotten more confusing. I will say. So I had written a few screenplays like over the years, and it had been years since I'd written one, and because of novels, and because novels were like selling. And so I was like, well, I should be writing novels. And I had this idea for a Wine Mom. And so I mean, I don't know if you want, but like, so the pitch for Wine Mom is that Wine Mom is like Bad Moms meets Scream. And it's this group of millennial women who have a book club, and they begin to be hunted down one by one by some deranged killer. And the main character is like struggling in her life with her identity, and this killer starts killing off all of her friends in her book club, and she's like forced to sort of change her life because of this murder spree that's happening around her. And it's very funny, it's very scary. But I'd had this idea of like this killer hunting down the book club. And I was like, I kept coming back to this idea, and I knew it wasn't a book. I was like, this is a script. This is a movie.
Yeah.
Like this is like the tone, the perspective, everything was filmed. And I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna just like set aside time. I have to just set aside time to do this. So it was while I was writing The Sun and the Moon, I was taking a class through this group called Script Anatomy, that are based in Los Angeles. They do all kinds of screenwriting courses. They're run by people who are actively on television and film, and so it's a great place to start if you're interested in learning about screenwriting. And I'm not a paid sponsor. But and so I was like, okay, I know that if I have a deadline, which this course will give me, then I'll finish. That was my main reason for doing it. And so I did an outline course with them with this incredible teacher. I love my teacher. His name's Ross, and outlined the whole script. And then I immediately went into the drafting class and drafted the whole script. So by the end of 3 months, 3.5 months, I had a script that I was completed.
So cool.
And I was writing The Sun and the Moon while that was happening. And fun fact, during that process, I had pitched The Sun and the Moon. It was a totally different book. I started doing the screenwriting class, and I started thinking, what if I pitch, because in your class, you're workshopping your ideas, you're workshopping scenes, you're thinking about you're tearing apart your idea to make it as good as it can be from the get-go. And I was like, oh, if I pitched this to my screenwriting class, what would they say? And I knew they would tear it apart. And so I tore the original idea apart and repitched it to my editor in the middle of doing that class. And the book is way better for it. So screenwriting and it's there's a whole different mindset around screenwriting, because you don't have all these words to use to figure out what you're doing. You don't have the internal space which you have in where you're in the character's head in a script. So it forces you to think a lot more visually and a lot more concretely about what you're doing. And I'm a very big advocate for anybody who is trying to write novels learning screenwriting techniques, because it will change the way you think about story.
Oh, okay.
You're like, oh,
and
it's
just
fun.
sign up for some of these.
Yeah, right. And I mean, because you learn a totally different method of outlining. Because again, you just don't have it. You're boiling it down to, is this the strongest way to illustrate this in this story? And most of the time your instinct is wrong for what the strongest way is, because we have oh, well, I want to do something here. And you're your way into the scene might be fine, but there's is it actually doing the work that it needs to do? Because in a screenplay, it has to do a lot. Everything has to do so much work.
Right.
Oh man, I can't wait for that to be filmed, because it's going to be filmed.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's out with people. So what's funny about that is because of The Lovers, I had a film agent that had signed me for my book to film adaptations. And I wrote my mom and was like, well, I'm gonna just see if they wanna read it, thinking they're not gonna want to read it, first of all. And then thinking also they don't really read my screenplays. They've never read my screenplays. I didn't think. And so I asked my film agent, her name's Olivia Berger at William Morris, and she was like, yeah, I'll read it. Sure. Yeah. And she read it, and she came back a day later and was like, this is amazing. We should try to get this package made. And I was like, so it's
there's moving parts.
And so yeah, there's moving parts, but also because of that, now that I'm writing screenplays, I've taken general meetings with production companies. I'm and kind of engaging actively in the screenwriter life. I'm much more well positioned to be involved in adaptations of my own work as well.
That's so exciting.
That is really cool.
Ooh, yay. Well, we're
I'm
manifesting it's coming. It's coming.
Thank you. Yes, let's all the power of our minds compel it.
Yes,
100%. All right, we've already kept you over, but we do have a couple last questions that we're gonna ask. So first of all, fictional boyfriend of the week. Do you have any characters that you need to scream about and let us know about?
Well, I read and loved and blurbed Jordan Taylor's adult. Do you guys know Jordan Taylor? She writes
Mm-mm.
YA thrillers and then like some YA she's written YA thrillers and also like these kind of historical romantic stories. Rebel Girls of Paris, I think, just came out and it's queer. So
I feel like
Jordan
I've
is
heard that.
bi. Yeah. And she wrote her adult debut is called See You at the Summit, and it's a bisexual male female love story. And I love that book so much. Like her writing is just really engaging and inviting. But the guy in it, because I am bisexual and I have a bit of an interesting relationship to like representation in like cis het stories. Like sometimes it doesn't vibe with my experience. And the guy in this, who he's not bisexual, but the relationship is because she's queer and she's, you know, explore her sexuality and how it's represented and how it works with this like love interest. I just loved him. I just fell in love with this guy. I was like, he is so like good and real and genuine. And I was just so happy to read something like that with like a guy who like is a lot about service, you know, to her. And it's just, it was
Oh,
really satisfying. So
Oh,
I
love
really liked him. I
that.
can't think of his
have to
name
add
right
it to the
now, but you know,
list.
Yeah.
it'll come to me. But like, it's
Names are
really,
hard. It's
it's a,
okay.
you guys should read. You'll like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
On the
add it to
list
the yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, love. Okay. You kind of already answered it, but if you could have like a different we read all the time. So like whatever. What are you reading? What are you
What
recommending?
am I
Favorite
reading?
books? Anything?
Oh my gosh. So I don't think I recommend this book. I'm in a book club and I did just read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Did you guys read this book?
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
I've
The E.
heard
Schwab.
some different things about it.
I look, I'm not, it just was not for me. But the writing was beautiful. It's just so long. It was so long, you guys.
Yeah.
So I did just read that. So it is like front of mind. And like, I am like, wow, that was an experience. And it was an experience. Like I did finish the book. So I don't really know what I think about it. I need like 6 to 8 months to decide
To
my
That's
feelings
process.
about
valid.
it.
Yeah.
Relatable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
it
think,
was, yeah.
yeah, with her work, I think specifically and you need a minute to think, to
Yeah.
You
think.
do.
Yeah.
Like I'm coming off of it and I'm like, I just finished it and I'm like, I don't think I've processed what I experienced. And it was so much to hold in your mind because it's a long book. And I don't know if you can tell, like my attention span, not the best. Um, but yet at the same time, like I'm still thinking about it. Like I'm thinking about it. I'm like, I need to talk about it more. I just talked about it at book club for 2 hours. Like I don't, I'm still like, maybe talk to me about it. Um,
I
so
Yeah, that
so it is such an like I actually am very much an advocate for that kind of reading experience. I don't think every reading experience should be like, oh, I just love everything and I feel so great. Like it
yeah.
books are there for us to engage with and think and force us to grow and what art we can experience, what we can understand. And so I'm like, I think that it's worth reading. Like, and like, you know, even though it's like I'm having a hard time with certain things and I'm still processing my experience, I think that's what books are for. So I don't know.
Fair?
yeah,
Yeah. That is what
so
they're
fair.
for.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've kind of talked about it a little bit, but our final question is always like, what comes next? So obviously Lost Girls, and then
Yes.
talk about that a little bit, and then maybe if you have anything else you want to talk about.
Yeah, so I am doing a pivot in my career. That's what we call it. And my young adult, which I sold Lost Girls way back when like right not long after I sold the lovers, honestly. So this is like I was already going this direction, but Lost Girls of Hollow Lake is a young adult speculative thriller about 8 girls who go missing on a school trip in a made up national forest called Hollow Lake. And when they are found, only 5 of them remain. And it follows the summer after they've been found and them trying to kind of grappling with like the traumatic experience of what happened when they were lost and the secrets they're trying to keep about it. And in the midst of all of that, somebody begins hunting them down to make them pay for what happened while they were lost.
Oh my goodness.
I know it's like, and the thing is, it's like really scary. So like, I'm like, it's not like a soft pivot. Like that book, yes, it's YA, but I genuinely am like, it's meant to be scary. I love horror. I love to scare people. So it's fun. And then my next book with Berkeley is also horror. It's full straight on horror, like speculative horror, that is very suspenseful about a woman who is able to dream things into reality and doesn't know she can do this, but she accidentally almost killed her boss during an incident, and is like, fuck, this is bad. And the reason she's like this is because she's basically got a lot of trauma in her background and she's estranged from her family. So she decides to go home to her hometown to try to fix her relationship, sort of fix herself. Like, I'm going to work on fixing myself so that I don't kill anybody accidentally. And ends up deciding that maybe that's not actually what I want to do, and I actually want to get revenge on everybody instead.
We love it.
I am kind of here for that, honestly.
I mean, we always say it. We support women's rights, but we also support women's wrongs. So
100%.
Yeah, so it is very much like she doesn't want to be bad, but she is gonna be.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love it. So exciting.
I love her already.
She's a mess. I'm deep in the final stages of drafting that book, so I'm like, I can tell you with full conviction that her name is Haven, is a disaster, but absolutely fully a likable disaster. Like, I hope that people are like, oh yeah,
on her side.
Should definitely take them out.
Yeah. Yes. I'm already on her side.
Yeah,
I know.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, that's so exciting. Yay. And of course, we have to remind you that you are legally obligated to come back for all book releases.
Yeah, I'll
pre-read from Mandy for the scary parts. It's
yeah,
fine.
I do get real scared, which is so annoying because my husband literally owns a streaming platform with like horror and paranormal stuff. And I'm like, I can't watch this. I'm scared. You need a different test audience, not me.
Like about that is that like horror and reading it, like having it in your head where you're imagining it, in some ways it can be not as scary because you can't control it, but then if you're not good, if you're like very visual and you like it can be worse because what your mind can conjure up.
Because your mind is scary sometimes. That's a scary place.
I'm like, look, my mind is a very scary place. Like, nobody wants to get in there. That's why we're here. But it's funny because all of the next books I have coming out also have romance in them. So just there is that.
I'm here for the romance, and I'll just like read like this for the scary parts where I'm like peeking through my fingers like I do with movies. I already know I'm safe in one aspect because he will every now and then talk me into watching a scary movie, but I have to hit doesthedogdie.com first, and I know I'm safe with you there.
Yes, you are. Like, it's so funny because like I'm like, I don't have any kind of content warnings on Lost Girls of Hollow Lake, and like it's very clear that the dog plays a huge role in the story, so he's going to be involved in something in the story. But I'm also like, I need y'all to understand.
The dog
this
is
girl's
safe.
never hurting a dog.
Never, not once.
Never.
That's the only one that's safe, and that's fine.
Right.
Honestly,
the humans, who cares? But the dog,
event for the Sun and the Moon, I was with Mallory Marlowe, who's my dear friend, and she was like, and she said exactly, she's like, oh no, Rebecca will kill like every mother and every guy and every whatever. She's like, but she'll never kill a dog.
No, no, we're not about that life here.
No.
It's the cone of
No,
trust.
dogs are the
Dogs.
hero. In my opinion, dogs are the heroes of this journey.
Yeah, they're too
100%.
precious. They
Yeah.
live forever, always, forever and
They
ever.
live forever. They
Yeah.
do.
It's the rules. All right, friends. Well, The Sun and the Moon is out now. So go to your favorite bookstore, go pick up a copy, pick up The Lovers as well, because
Yeah,
there is a really fun cameo
there
in
is.
this one. It's so fun. I wasn't sure if I was expecting it or not, and then it happened, and I was like, I love it.
I had to find a way because like they were still so fresh in my mind. And I was
Mhm.
like, and like they know Madame Moira. So I was
Right.
like, we need to
Yes.
Yeah.
see
And you
them
did it
again.
so well. Like, it was like the way that they were there was exactly as it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just so, I mean, like the dogs live forever and Kit and Julia are living their best life too.
Perfect. I love it. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. This has been so much
Thank
fun.
you.
Oh, we
Thank you
love
so
you.
much.
We love having
Love you guys.
you.
We will talk soon, I'm sure.
Yes.
Wait, he's gonna say bye. He needs to
Oh
say
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye, babies.
Bye to the babies.
Bye.
They're like, what is going on?
They're like, I was asleep.
I was resting, mother.
I love how dogs are we just like yank them up. We're just
Yeah.
like, here you are.
Yep. Here he is.
Alrighty, we'll talk soon, my dear.
Talk to
All
you
right,
soon.
bye, you guys.
Bye.
Ugh,
I live for her.
the best, the best. I love her so much.
You
Oh,
hear that, Georgie? You're safe. No doggies die
it's
if
so
Auntie Rebecca has you.
it's so funny because like truly Chicken is like the combination of our boys.
I know. Isn't that
Because
crazy?
because not only he's a Chihuahua, he's elderly, and his tongue sticks out like Georgie's
Well,
does.
and he's based off of a Yorkie,
And he's based off of a Yorkie. Like,
an old man Yorkie.
my goodness.
The cuteness.
Obsessed. Obsessed. I love her so much.
I do too.
Yay.
It's always so much fun. We had like a serious double header this week
What the heck, man?
with like killer
Yes.
repeat offenders.
Yeah, I love it. I love our job.
I know.
It's so fun.
Ugh.
Time for announcements. So next week, I'm so freaking excited. Y'all
This is
have
gonna
no
be so
idea.
fun.
I am so excited because next week we're talking to Dahlia Adler about For the Rest of Us, which is an anthology of like
Holidays.
holiday stories, not like the regular holidays, but like not the holidays that you all know about, more cultural holidays, and I'm so excited
Yeah.
about it. I'm obsessed with Dahlia Adler. If you've never read one of her books, I feel sorry for you. I love her so much. I'm so excited. And that's next week, right? What else is going
Yeah.
on? Nothing else is going on. So now it's time for a spiel. Is that what we
Yeah.
do now?
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Gosh. We're
been a minute.
rusty.
Right. All right, friends. So if you enjoyed this episode, please like, follow, and subscribe wherever you are listening to us. Follow us on social media. We are at The Incoherent Fangirl on all the things. Visit our website, theincoherentfangirl.com, where you can also stream all of our episodes, as well as read our blog, which I did update for the first time in like a year. So there is
Hey.
something new. Very exciting.
Look at you go.
I know. It was hard. Writing is hard.
Yeah.
Even if you're just writing a review. My brain is not powered right now. Subscribe to our Patreon for early access to podcast episodes, full video episodes, as well as bonus content. Please do, because we're having some behind the scenes issues with our podcast
Oh
streaming.
my God.
Our
Yeah, there
podcast
may be a
hosting-
little bit of changes
There's
coming
changes
soon.
maybe coming. So
Hopefully.
subscribe to Patreon and also shop our merch store, theincoherentfangirl.com/shop, because you can get cute stuff and also help support us, which is much
Yes.
appreciated.
So we can move.
Yeah, that'd be great. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, design ideas, you want to tell us that we're pretty, or you just want to love on the dogs, which is also very acceptable, He's so
I
cute.
love him so much. I could just die.
Send us an email at theincoherentfangirl@gmail.com. We love hearing from y'all.
Yes.
And of course, one last way to support the podcast is to rate and review on whatever platform you're listening to us on. Please give us all the words. His
We
eyes are
love your words.
so crazy right now.
He's like, why would you pick me up like this?
Mother, what are you doing?
Mother, I'm
Oh my
sleeping.
God. All
I'm
right.
sorry.
That is Georgie's mother, and she's at Mandy Perv on all the things.
And that's Georgie's auntie and Roma's mother. She's at Ms. Made in China on all the things.
And once you followed us on social media and you follow the podcast on social media, you can head over and visit our internet besties because they are indeed the best, as the name explains.
Implies. Yeah.
First stop, you're going to head to our friends at Here Comes the Nerd at herecomesthenerd.com. Use code FANGIRL and you'll get 20% off your first order.
Then you're going to head over to Once Upon a Book Club and do some shopping. You can subscribe, you can buy some goodies. Either way, we have 2 codes you can choose from. You cannot stack them, but we love you no matter which one you choose. You can use either code Karen10 or Mandy10 for 10% off. But if you don't spell Karen right, we might have to leave you in Hollow Lake.
Oh no. It sounds like you don't want to be there.
I don't think
So,
you want to be there,
yeah.
bestie, so, unless you're a dog.
Yeah.
So, and if you're a dog, it'd be weird if you were using a coupon code, but who am I to
But,
judge?
if you're a dog, come hang out with us.
Yeah, and
We've
spell
got
Karen
friends.
right.
Yeah, that too. All right. And then next up, you're going to visit our friend Amber D. Lewis at amberdlewis.com. You're going to add 10 of everything to your cart, and then you're
Yep.
going to use code Fangirl10, which gets you 10% off the 10 of everything you've just added to your cart, which means you've mathematically gotten one of everything for free.
Don't question us on
I'm
that.
pretty sure
Just go
that's
with it
correct.
because
Yeah,
it's pretty much got to
that's
be
how
the
it
truth.
works. 100%.
And last but not least, you're going to support the show husband. So you can follow at Searchers Podcast on all the things, at the Paranormal Mind on all, no, not the Paranormal Mind anymore. That's
Paranormal Mind is
Searchers.
the Searchers
It
podcast.
is the Searchers. It's been a minute since I've done one of these. Um, you're going to follow at Searchers Believe on all the things. That's the group. Searchers Podcast is the podcast. But most importantly, you're going to go follow Beacon. So it's at Stream Beacon TV on all the things. If you go to streambeacontv.com, you can subscribe. It's like $5 a month, and you get all kinds of paranormal, true crime, and horror content. Um, I was really hoping we'd have the big announcement where I could say it. It's so soon. I think that like the final, this is when you can start announcing meeting is tomorrow for Karen and I. So
Ooh,
hopefully the next time we record, I'll be able to tell you guys the big thing, but it's huge.
it is.
Um, so yeah, go follow at Stream Beacon TV on all the things. If you go to streambeacontv.com and subscribe, if you use code fangirl10, you'll get 10% off. And you can also go to searchersbelieve.com/shop and use fangirl10 to get 10% off of merch designed by yours truly. We're closing in on spooky season, so you're going to want all of your spooky things. I need to get him to set up. We have like a Beacon merch site,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know if we have like coupon code set up on it yet. But they have a sweatshirt that our graphic designer designed, and it's like a bloody knife, and it says "Just the tip, I promise." I need that.
I'm
I need that.
obsessed. I'm
Yeah.
obsessed.
So yeah, go support the show husband. He's at Borna Josh on everything. If you just want to follow his shenanigans too.
He does do the shenanigans.
He shenans and he shenans again. So
Uh, all right, and
well,
that
that's
was the
the
Incoherent
Incoherent
Fangirl.
Fangirl.
Thanks for
Thank
listening. We love
We
you.
love you.
Bye.
Bye.
We are sponsored by our friends at Here Comes the Nerd. Pins, stickers, magnets, and more. Here Comes the Nerd has happy art for all fandom-loving hearts. New customers can use coupon code FANGIRL during checkout for 20% off their first order at herecomesthenerd.com. Coupon applies to ready-to-ship items only.